I have a shocking true story of when Trump told a foreign leader without joking, I'll kill you. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the happy patriots are. Trump projected strength. Biden projects weakness, and the weakness costs lives. We're going to get some wisdom from Mike Huckabee. But first, the introduction to this is Wesley Hunt on the Sage Steele show. Listen carefully. We're going to wrap this up across this entire episode and make this case.
When we were negotiating with the Taliban, while President Trump was still the president, President Trump wanted to get out of Afghanistan, but he wanted a conditions-based withdrawal, meaning that you do what we tell you to do, and then we will start pulling troops back slowly as long as you abide by our rules.
That's Congressman Wesley Hunt reveals jaw-dropping Trump story. This is amazing. We have to do a little bit more, though. Here's Bob Woodward comparing it to Biden's performance. Think of it. Think of what the Taliban says when they see this news segment about Biden.
His performance was, I sat there and watched it, and I could not believe it. I said, not only is this a political hydrogen bomb for him and the Democratic Party, what happened? What happened?
He's saying, what happened to Biden at the debates? What happened? You guys did this. You know what happened. And now he's going, but the Democrat Party's going, uh-oh, I think we might have blown up the world on this one by screwing around. And here's Mike Huckabee.
Yeah, I think you're right. We have to recognize the serious part is that we're not the only ones watching. And we're not the only ones who have been watching. President Xi's been watching, Putin watches, Kim Jong-un watches. They all look at this. I think the reason that they never went into Ukraine when Donald Trump was president, Hamas would never have attempted to overrun and murder and butcher Jewish civilians like they did on October 7th when Donald Trump was president. They were scared to death of him.
Overall, now why were they scared to death of him? This is going to be a great story. One more short segment here, then we'll wrap that story up by Wesley Hunt. But here, I have to still introduce it a little bit further with Mike Huckabee.
They just didn't know what he might do, but they feared what he would do. It's why I think we need him again. Because the world, whether they respect him or they're just afraid of him, I don't care. I just know they behave better. And we need a world like we had when Donald Trump was president.
I don't care if they respected him, hated him, feared him. They behaved better. Here's the completion of that story with Wesley Hunt on Trump negotiating with the Taliban.
It's President Trump and Mike Pompeo, and they are talking to Taliban leadership in the room, and they had one translator in the room. President Trump looked at the Taliban leader and said this, I want to leave Afghanistan, but it's going to be a conditions-based withdrawal. And translator translated. And he said, if you harm a hair on a single American, I'm going to kill you.
All right, there's a long pause of silence there. Just let it sink in. Trump told that to a Taliban leader, and they had to know that he meant it. And then here's where Trump backs it up.
And the translator goes, and Trump goes, tell him.
Yes.
Tell him what I said. Tell him what I said. Reached in his pocket, pulled out a satellite photo of the leader of the Taliban's home and handed it to him.
Shut up.
Got up and walked out the room.
That's how you do foreign policy the Trump way. That's why he's going to clean up this world stage day one he gets into office. The world knows about Trump. They fear him. It's not even respect like, oh, you great man. They might think he's crazy. You want them to think he's crazy enough to do it. And that's the key difference between Trump and Biden and why the world needs Trump. Don't let the Democrats screw the whole world, put the whole world in jeopardy just because they want to regain power in the United States. They're wrong. They've always been wrong. Not one box for one Democrat for the sake of the whole world. I'm Doug in Exile.